Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm back with an energy update. So I really wanted to do a reading because I realized something about the cycle that we're in right now. It's like we're moving from the Sagittarius full moon into the Cancer new moon. And so what it really feels like to me is that this is like this powerful shedding time. It's almost as if we're shedding the old light, the old fire, the dogmas, the religion, the just like the old ways of basically the old gods is what I was hearing, but it's like the old ways of orienting through reality. Like these weeks now that we have, these days now that we have from the Sagittarius full moon to the Cancer new moon, if we allow it, if we are aware and awake within ourselves, there is just so much karmic residue that we can let go of. And I feel like it's very much linked to our masculine karma, the karma of action, of moving forward, of getting things done. And when we change that, it's like our inner feminine will change a lot, because the way we move, the way we um, manifest, the way we push things into being, it affects our feminine a lot. It affects the health of our feminine, the state of our feminine, how we feel within each moment. And so I feel like there's this powerful karmic clearing going on right now. And it's also interesting because next year, 2023, it's the year of Cancer. It's the year of the Chariot in the tarot. If you put all the numbers together, you get a number 7, which is the Chariot in the tarot. And so I almost also feel like this period right here, it's almost like it's a portal that can help you see the timeline that you're on, and the timeline that you are, if you don't change anything, going to be playing out during next year. It's something like that. It's almost like a little looking glass, this 2-week period right here, it feels like. So that's why I wanted to do a reading, to see if we can get any advice on this. I'm gonna use this Mystical Shaman Oracle card deck again. And underneath the deck was the Vision Quest when I pulled it up, and under there was also the Middle World. And so, like I said, it really feels like we are the Chariot. It is a lot about our drive. It's almost like the Chariot is what was I gonna say? Is it unity that can transport us through space and through time in whatever way we wishes. So we can do it in a very like literal, material way, like in everyday life. And if we think like that, it's almost like the Chariot is a car. So there's something about that it's like a lot of shifts and changes in regards to how we move about in our day-to-day life. Discovering new paths, I feel. So it feels like something positive, very positive for those that are kind of aware and awake. This is really a time where I feel like you will have a lot more free will in regards to what you're manifesting. I feel like we've been through this long process where we have had to endure a lot. Those of you that have been on the awakening path particularly, we've been building our back. It has been about learning how to endure what is, and we haven't really had the power to change that in major ways. That's what I'm feeling for some of you. So now, for those that recognize themselves in this, I feel like now we're moving into times where we will begin to have just a lot more force to create change, to create flow, for better or for worse, right? So it's an exciting time, I feel, and it's almost like this Cancer season now will be like a testing period where we get to see, like I said, what type of timeline that we're already on. And then as we move into fall and winter, that's when we can make a lot of readjustments, I feel. If we see that, you know, we want to tweak things slightly or whatever. So let's see if we can get a card here. But there's also a lot of emotional clearing, I feel, coming out. It's just a lot of chaotic feelings, like it might appear to be chaotic because it's like on the one side it's the old light going out, and so if we associate a lot with the old light, you know, if we build towers based on the old light, if we have our identity really firmly rooted in the old light, then this is a time that, you know, it's going to actually cause us to slow down. We won't be able to move anymore. And so I feel that many of you watching this, you might have already gone through this period a little bit, but probably there will still be like, you know, it depends where you're at. Like I said, everything is relative, kind of. So that's one part. You might be feeling burned out in certain areas of your life, showing you that this is kind of the old light. If you want to gain more energy, then see if you can begin to let go of these practices and things like that. But then in other areas of life, and this is our feminine, then there's just a lot of emotional healing. It's just a lot of pain coming to the surface because of the things that the feminine has had to endure because of the old light. Because, you know, when we are very lit up from the inside, when we have a lot of desire within ourselves, then there's not so much space for other people's emotions within us. And so this very lit up, enlightened, masculine fire energy is like the god. It hasn't always been so nice, you know, towards the feminine. You know, she has been the witch, you know, the whore, the thing to be tossed away when she doesn't really comply with the words of the masculine. And so naturally there's a lot of pain coming up from our feminine. Yeah, the card that came out was flow in reverse. And then underneath the deck was the moon. And here's the wind card again. It's just been coming through a lot. And so I feel like it's a little bit what I talked about. If you feel that you are blocked in certain ways, that it's difficult for you to flow because you don't have the energy or whatever, you're feeling held back, then I really just, the answer is within your feminine. You know, it lies within your moon, within your lunar power. And this is a symbolism, I feel, for our, you know, subconscious. So I've found that a lot of the time when I feel really, if I start to feel very, very emotional and just like overwhelmed in my everyday life, that's always when there are initiations waiting for me in my subconscious. It's like there are choices that I need to make in terms of, or in regards to what timeline I want to commit to. And so that's something that I've learned, that when I feel very, very emotional, it's really a time for me to meditate. I mean, I call it meditation, but it's really just stepping down into the subconscious to see what's going on in there. Maybe it's more of like a shamanistic practice, I guess. And so I think that might be something for some of you to, like, if you're feeling emotional and you feel held back, there are initiations for you in your subconscious. So I actually want to pull one more from this deck right now. Let's just see what comes out. Yes, the seer. The seer. So for some of you, I feel like part of this preparation is what I'm hearing for 2023 is really focusing. It's like learning how to really awaken your your inner seer, your inner psychic on a different level, getting it to a different level, because that means that come 2023 you'll be able to navigate in a whole different way, because it's like right now, and underneath the deck was the Andean cross. It's like this portal energy. Right now we're in this type of portal where, if you just follow the standard paths, then things are gonna be difficult for you. That's what I feel. You're gonna go through a lot of changes and things are gonna be broken down. But if you are able to, if you're awake, if you have awoken your inner feminine, your lunar power, then every initiation, every opportunity that is in your field, like that you can reach, will be presented to you first in your subconscious. It's so weird to me when I really started to awaken my subconscious, because I could feel like people also knocking on my door, even if I know that they are not awake on those levels. They would like knock on my door in my subconscious before they try to connect to me. And if I didn't want to connect to them at that point, if it wasn't like a good time for me, if I didn't have the energy, I would just say no, not right now. And then later they would tell me that they were thinking about just stopping by or doing something, but they chose not to because it just didn't feel right. So, being awake right now within your subconscious is a really actually powerful thing that can help you to, it's like it's just gonna make your life easier. You'll be able to say no thank you to the things that you don't want, but without even like having to say it to people's faces, because they might not be on the level where they understand yet. They might be, their egos might be triggered if you speak your truth to them. And so it's almost like at this time it's so much easier to do it through the subconscious. Also, another thing that's kind of like an energy that I've been getting is that there's so much synchronicity at play right now. It's like this is the energy of the heart. It's like the green heart. It's the energy of spring. Growth, growth, growth wanting to happen, just like pop. Life wanting to pop out of thin air. It's like the full energy. And so for those of us that can see, it's almost like we can really strike luck at this point in time. It's like things can happen that people would say like it's a miracle. And so I'm not really saying to like really kind of hope for that or like really be like needy for that to happen, but it's a possibility, that 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 you will gain things that will benefit you very easily, much more easily than than you would have thought. If you were in the old time, walking the old paths, then people would say like that's just not possible. It's not going to be possible ever for things to happen that easily. But now I feel like it is a possibility, but I feel like this flow needs to be in the upright. And to get it in the upright, it's really about being very tuned in to our inner feminine, which can be challenging right now because there's, like I said, just a lot of clearing and a lot of pain, wounding coming out from our feminine. All of this feeling of abandonment, of not being worthy of the light, or of, just not being worthy. And so it can be difficult to connect to it, but I find that it's easier if we realize that this is not our destiny, it's the karma that we're here to clear. So if you look at it in that way, if you look at these feelings as if they are beings that we are helping to find peace, you know, we're helping them to find peace, we're helping these past lives to find peace. And when we do, it's like they will give us gifts. We start to see more, we start to be capable of feeling more, going deeper, understanding more. And it's almost like these past lives, these souls that are lost, that haven't found peace yet, they kind of become our angels. You know, they want to help us now because we helped them. And so it's something really powerful about this time, moving into Cancer season, into like Cancer new moon. I'm just debating, shall I pull another card or not? Yes. Okay, let's do it. It's a bit of a long reading, but I don't know. There's something a little bit unresolved, I feel. Maybe there are some like things that are, maybe you need to make peace with something, is what I'm feeling like within your life first. It's like there are some ties that haven't been, there are some old ways that are open, I feel, for many of us. Some things that we need to close out and just, yeah, make peace with, forgive, let go of. So what is this in regards to? Card coming out is Three of Wands in reverse though. Oh yeah. And the Two of Swords underneath the deck. And behind there was the Ace of Wands. And the Lovers. And the Tower. Yeah. So I feel like this is talking about the old light. You know, like I spoke about, when there's a lot of desire within our masculine energy, then there's a lot of fear within our feminine energy. Because with all this light, with all this desire, we're not able to really take it slow, be gentle, you know, listen to the feminine, listen to the earth. Because we want so badly. It's like we want it. And so we lose our divine masculine a little bit. We lose our mastery, our compassion. So this is something that I feel like our attention is being pulled towards. You know, Three of Wands in the upright, it would be actually the symbol of water. You know, being able to see your own mirror reflection in the water in front of you and use that to enlighten yourself. But when it's reverse, I feel like it turns into fire. And it's almost like instead of reflecting, instead of going within, instead of building our moon, you know, our power to reflect, it's like we are driven by desire. But then where does these desires actually originate from? It's like when we are in this state of being very driven by our desire, we don't even know. We don't even take the time to reflect. It doesn't matter. Things are too complicated. Our attention span is too small. And so we become victims. It's like we're trapped by our own nature. So again, I feel like, you know, with the Two of Swords, if you feel held back, don't see it as a curse. It's actually protection at this point in time. There's something that you're missing that is so, I feel, elemental to your destiny. Like, to you being able to create the foundation for the destiny that you're moving into, like 2023, 2024, these years. So many changes are gonna happen. And so I just feel like the earth is trying to prepare us for that. And when I said that, it was almost like I was able to hit the ground again. It's like during this reading, I felt very like, I was up here. Like I was up here, I was barely touching the ground. Like, but now when I came back down and I started focusing on the earth again, like opening my awareness to the earth, that's when I really felt like safe. So there's something about that, guys. Don't forget the earth. Take your time to see what is waiting for you, what is there for you, what choices you can make. Okay, goodbye for now.